Welcome to the inside of the Deku Tree. Oh, and the quiet music is ruined. And these are a different enemy. Not really, but they are different. Deku Baba. If you hit it when it lunges at you, it'll stand upright. Cut it quickly to get a Deku stick. She's not wrong, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna attack it as is, and we're gonna get a Deku Nut. These Deku Nuts, as you can probably see. Nope, that's not what I wanted. They stun enemies. So Deku Babas like that will be instantly stunned rather than you having to wait for them to lunge at you and then cut them down. However, these have a much more important use later on in the dungeon, so don't worry about that. So as you can see, we got a bit of a cobweb down there, and we don't really have any means to break it, at least from here, but it is bouncing a little bit. Look, Link! You can see down below this web using I. And as we look down into the web, there's a whole other part of the dungeon, but can't really cut it down, so can't really... I mean, Link could just take his sword and just kind of run around the edge and cut it, but yeah, that wouldn't be fun. So let's have fun. I just want to take a moment to really appreciate the wonderful music here. Look at the wall. The vines growing on it. Look at this wall. The vines growing on it give it a rough surface. Maybe you can climb it, Link. I had a brain fart there. I don't know what was wrong with me there. But before the vines, we got a big treasure chest. What's we gonna get? What we gonna get? What we gonna get? Come on. We got the dungeon map. Tap map on the lower screen to look at the detailed map. Blue chambers are places you have already visited. Your current location is the flashing room. Tap floor numbers to select the floor to view. So as we can see in the bottom, we have a whole bunch of stuff to go through. This is only the first dungeon, but we've already got 5 whole floors to look at. Floor 1 where we entered, second floor that we're on, third floor that's above us, basement 1 and basement 2. We don't really know what's on any of them, but we do know they exist, and we have a basic structure for how to get around the place. When we're in dungeons, I'll be showing the bottom screen as slightly more prominent than I would otherwise. I know how to open doors, Navi. Please. I'll be showing the bottom screen as slightly more prominent so you can follow along with the guide a little bit better. I'll also be showing off which treasure chests we got once we get the compass, but... Ow, forgive me, Master. If I give you a tip, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold circle forward, you'll roll on the ground when you land and won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it'll work, though, if the cliff is really, really high. Will you try it if you're feeling bold? Wahaha. That is broken in the 3DS version. It sometimes works, but it only works half of the time. Also, we don't need that big platform. We don't need it. Here. Simple. So what's in this treasure chest? This is something different. You got the Slingshot. The fairy slingshot, rather. Tap item on the lower screen. Yeah. Use the button to take it out. Or hold to load... What? Oh. Use the button to take it out or hold to load a Deku seed. Aim with circle and then release to fire. If you want to shoot right away, when you first use X or Y, hold it down a little longer to get a seed ready. So I'm going to set that right away. And I'm going to put this on the Deku Nut on one of my items, on one of my touchscreen buttons. Look, something is hanging up there. It looks like an old ladder. To get this ladder down, you want to use the slingshot and shoot it down. The first... Well, treasure chest, what do you got for me? A recovery heart. That's something that's a bit of a problem with this first dungeon. It doesn't give you a whole lot of rupees. It doesn't really even give you a whole lot of consumable items. It will give you many hearts even when you're already at full health. A lot of the treasure chests are just not worth it, unfortunately. Anyways, so we shot down this ladder, and for those of you who jumped across this platform because you weren't thinking, haha, you didn't get to make an epic gamer move like I did, where I didn't even need the ladder. Because of my big brain. One way or another, we now have the Slingshot, and we now have a means for taking out these Skullwaltulas. But let me just show you what happens if you try climbing with these Skulltula all over the wall. They'll rush you and knock you off, taking a bit of your health with you. With them. Yes, grammar. So you can aim very rapidly with the gyro controls, and it's very precise. I admire that when Nintendo tried doing gyro aim for the first time on the 3DS, they basically nailed it. I have no complaints about the gyro aim in this version. The original had slightly clunkier aiming, and people have found that on the GameCube controller, whether it be through the GameCube version, like the port, or whether it be on the Wii Virtual Console, the sensitivity is way too high when aiming, and that can be a bit of a problem. I've actually played this game with an N64 controller. I still don't own an N64, but I did run it through an emulator, whether it be RetroArch or something else. And yeah, no, it's much better on an actual controller. Or an actual original controller, rather. Not every controller is going to work super well. So now we got a little bit of a puzzle right here. There's Deku Baba down there. But there's these platforms we can jump across. There's a big boy right in front of us, but we can just use our stick to kill him and get whatever's in this chest. And it's another recovery heart. But that's okay, because we got this thing. This is a gold Skulltula. Navi will not lock onto them, so they don't really have a description. Anyways, you destroyed a gold Scatula. You destroyed a gold Skulltula. You got a token proving you destroyed it. These are super important, and we'll get into that later, because it's not the most apparent right now. One way or another, I'm out of sticks, so what say you? Kill you, and I get some more stick. Heck yeah. Give me more stick. Let me just decapitate you at the throat and take your disembodied throat, why not? Let me just like paralyze you and take your withered corpse with me. It's so morbid. I love it. What are we gonna find in here? This is the compass. Now you can see locations of many hidden things in the dungeon. So more or less, the entire dungeon map is open to us. The map will still mark where we haven't been to, but it will show us locations of treasure chests, and as we can see, the boss is on this floor. As we can also see, there's only one treasure chest left. So, guess we better go find it. Better go find it. I have bad mouth. I talk bad. Why did I decide this was a good idea? I speak so poorly. So now that we're up here, we're gonna take out this boy. And just let him wither and die. And I'm gonna chase that nut all the way down there. Oh god, I missed the nut. But I did manage to break through this. That's the important part. I wasn't just blindly chasing nut down a tree. I had a plan. I really love the okay, I don't know what you're doing there. Like, I was gonna say, I really love the ingenuity that requires of the player. It can be, for a first-time player, it can be legitimately difficult to know whether or not you're supposed to actually jump down a whole giant tree. Especially if you miss, you might be discouraged from going back down. Considering you would take a whole bunch of fall damage and die. You might die, you might not. I don't know. Hit this switch, and that burns all the cobwebs away. And we get another recovery heart. I do not understand why they don't just give you rupees in this dungeon. It's kind of strange, not gonna lie. It's kind of a little bit strange. Something else you can do to preserve Deku sticks is if you pull your sword out or put the stick away before it burns away, because it will burn away eventually, you will keep the stick. Actually, I don't know what Navi has to say about these. Deku Scrub. It will hide in the grass if you get close to it, bounce its nuts back. Bounce the nut it spits back at it. Okay. Someone had a field day with that quote. Please forgive me, Master. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. You'll never beat my brothers up ahead unless you punish them in proper order. The order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. Do you think I'm a traitor? There it is, the famous line, 23 is number 1. This scrub is technically not required. You never have to hear that hint ever again if you don't want to and you've memorized it over the, just kind of joining gaming's collective consciousness. After you get into the water, if you hold A, you will dive. Oh, you can hold L. I didn't actually realize you could hold L underwater. Change the view. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my god. The FOV. You want some more FOV, lad? I'll give you some FOV. Good lord. Why is the FOV so messed up when you dive like that? Okay. It's like, it goes from like 60 to 120. My god. Now, as there's a bit of dead air here... Oh, wait. No, before I'll explain that. This block. This block has the semi-iconic Gerudo symbol on it. Now... Yeah. You can push blocks. Link is all about pushing blocks. I know, Navi. But this Gerudo symbol was actually changed. Both... from the N64 version, it was both changed here and on the N64. Some of the more rare copies of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time have some more Islamic-looking symbols on this block. It also has some soundtrack changes and a few more censorships. As far as I know, there has never been a version of Ocarina of Time 3D released with the original Gerudo symbol. They've only used the one that they've changed back on the N64 version 1.1. Something else I'm not sure about is there was a N64 version 1.2. It was released on the Wii Virtual Console and I believe the GameCube re-release. But I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure about that. I will... If I'm correct, future Sam, give me an annotation. Give me a little check mark, next mark. What do I got? Cool. One way or another, there are a number of censorships that both the 1.1 version and the 3D version have gone through. And I will definitely be pointing them out. Because it is actually kind of a major criticism that some people have when they talk about which version of this game they prefer, being the 3D version or the N64 version. Now, as we can see here, there's something falling from the ceiling. Oh. We can break those before they ever come down and gank us, but I'm going to show you what these enemies are. This is a Ghoma larva. Look out when it gets ready to pounce. They're not the most difficult enemies in the world, but they are unique to this one dungeon. You never actually see them again. You'll see Deku Babas and Skulltulas all throughout the rest of the game, but Ghoma Larva? No, they're just... That's the only place you ever see them. I think this is the only room in the game that has them, too. I'm not sure. But after we kill this Deku Baba, we can see that there's a wall here. We smack it with our sword and, you know, it doesn't do much. Taking a look at the map, you can actually see that where Link is relative to the mini-map on the game screen and the map on the touchscreen, there's something back here, but we can't do anything about this yet, so we'll just come back to this later. For now, though, we want to take our stick. We want to roll as fast as we can. Actually, I'm going to backwalk. No, I said I'm going to back. There you go. And we're going to burn down this web. I'll show you why I backwalked in a little bit. Don't worry, I promise, I will explain everything in due time. Oh, you didn't stand up. Alright, thank you. We're out of room for our sticks anyway, so. Now as we can see, these torches are put up on little pillars here. Little stone pillars. And we can't really get to them. I want to see. I've never tried this. But as we can see, the rest of the room is down there. And if we push this block, which... Yeah, I'll finish that in a hot minute. No, that's why. Maybe. Nope, no! Oh. If I was to push this block off the edge, I would have a way back up, but now we gotta go around. I'll be right back. Nice. What? He just stood there spinning. He had a bit of a dizzy spell. And we have returned, ready to actually push this block out the way. So as I was saying, I could push this block right down off the cliff here, and when it happens, for as many block pushing puzzles as there are in this game, I'm surprised they didn't have the common sense to make the block pushing faster, honestly. But you know what? It's still a good game. We can take this torch, use it to light our stick, and we can light that up. Something interesting during the development of the 3D version, the developers noticed that they had broken burning webs a certain way. So the way that I burned the web there, by crouching using my shield and holding a Deku stick that's on fire, didn't work. So it was just a little note, because they did spend tons of extra attention to detail to make sure that players could play this version the way that they remember the N64 version playing. So now, we got a few Deku scrubs. I wonder if Navi has anything new to say. This one is just kind of stuck. It's a little bit stunned. I don't know, it's strange. Okay, cool. He Oh, is he just gonna do this now? Is the timing just screwed up? And we did something wrong. God. Now, the solution to this puzzle in particular, if you remember back to that other Deku scrub, is 23 is number 1. Nice! How did you know our secret? How irritating! It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Ghoma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Ghoma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. Spin! Nice. As we enter this ominous-looking room. Ooh. There's all these spider webs and fog everywhere. This is where the heart of the great Deku Tree is. And if you look closely, you can see something up there. Parasitic armored arachnid Ghoma. Okay, lock onto him. Oh god. Lock onto him. I actually took damage while fighting Ghoma. Deku sticks are your best friend here. They do intense damage. You'll see if I can get one more hit off of them, which I can't right now, but I'll show you in a hot minute. Ghoma has the common sense while her eye is yellow to avoid your attacks. But as you can see, using 5 Deku sticks and only 2 phases, barely 2 phases at that, she goes down no problem. And as we beat the boss, we got ourselves our first heart container. Your maximum life energy increased by 1 heart. Your life energy will be totally filled. Now let's make our way out. Well done, Link. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have yet more to tell thee. Wouldst thou listen? Yes. Now, listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile, sorcerous powers in search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Before time began, before the spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. Furore, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong, flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Furore, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. The 3 great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence. And the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power, because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Link, go now to Hyrule Castle. There thou wilt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with thee, the stone that the man wanted so much that he cast the curse upon me. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the great Deku Tree. The future depends upon thee, Link. Thou art courageous. Shouldst thou ever lose thy way, seek a vision of the path from the Sheikah Stone that stands beside thy home. Navi, the fairy, help Link to carry out my will. I entreat thee. Navi, goodbye. Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Link. Goodbye, great Deku Tree. Hey, Link, what did you do? The great Deku Tree. Did he die? How could you let a thing like that happen? It's all your fault. And that's the last time we ever get to see Mido's silly walk. So now, we're free to leave the forest and do what we want, but I think we should take a moment to go look at that Sheikah Stone that he was talking about. This is the Sheikah Stone the great Deku Tree mentioned, Link. If you're ever unsure of what to do, it might not be a bad idea to ask the stone for help. Stand silent still. Ask the Sheikah Stone for guidance? Yes, receive a vision of the future. As we crawl into the Sheikah Stone... So this Sheikah Stone is offering us visions of the future. This is a sort of helper feature that basically just shows you what to do. Let me show you what you get, not for breaking and entering, what you get for where the sword sleeps. The feature gives you an FMV of things that you need to do, like, pretty much right now. It does its best not to spoil everything. So, as you can see, we've only unlocked 6 out of 25 of quote-unquote Hyrule. That's spoilers as well. What about this? Nope, that's also spoilers. All of this is spoilers for the Let's Play, so I'll just, you know, it's fine, I'm not going to show it. Because this Let's Play is a sort of guide, I'm not going to be using this feature at all. That's the main reason why, but there are some secondary reasons why that I thought were pretty funny. And, well, the main secondary reason is this doesn't run in Citra. Let me show you what happens when you try and enter the Sheikah Stone in Citra. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, that's not playable. That's not usable. In today's day and age, internet guides make this pretty redundant. So even if you're playing in Citra, I wouldn't say that this is a really necessary feature you're missing out on. Now, I am recording this, As you can see, I'm like pushing the button, I'm going up and down, whoa, all around, but you might be noticing something. Bottom screen's 2 FPS. How I'm recording this is I'm streaming it from my new 2DS. And I don't have the internet for it to work very well, so as you can see, let's do one inside the Deku Tree. The top screen looks more or less fine with some stuttering here and there. The compression's mostly on the actual game's end. But the bottom screen is just so choppy that I don't think it works well enough. But the other big reason is I want to know if in the future you guys actually want me to switch to HD. I might be doing some bonus content in HD, but as it stands right now, getting an accurate picture is what I want, and I can't really get an accurate picture if the bottom screen is running at 2 FPS and the top screen is a little bit compressed. More compressed than what YouTube would, crunch it down to. But that's enough of my nerdy rambling, let's get back to the video. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go check up upon... you, I guess. What? Where are you going? To the castle? Where's the castle? Well, for now, the castle's out this way. Oh, you're leaving. I knew that you would leave the forest someday, Link. Because you're different from me and my friends. But that's okay, because we'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to have this ocarina. Please, take good care of it. You received the Fairy Ocarina. This is a memento from Saria. Tap Ocarina on the lower screen to start playing it. You can play different notes with L, Y, X, A, and R. Press B to quit playing. When you play my ocarina, I hope you'll think of me and come back to the forest to visit.